In this video, I'm traveling to New York City to take on the USA's cheapest and most expensive foods.
What is the most expensive pie you've ever made?
8,000.
Can we split it?
Sure.
8 million people, over 800 languages spoken.
This is my tradition.
You ever have to use that for self-defense?
Engano.
This is the city for food lovers of all kinds. From Chinatown's shockingly affordable street food
You're saying the difference in price has nothing to do with flavor.
I don't think so.
to a pricey Harlem soul food shakedown.
Right now, I'm holding a platter of fried chicken, and it costs $182.
Kicking it off, one of the biggest forces behind New York's food culture. The Italians. We found the most expensive Italian dish in the city.
They turned the rabbit's entire body into a rabbit sausage, essentially.
And it smells delicious.
But first, we're starting with an Italian meal that costs the same as a cup of coffee.
I'm looking at it now. It's like the size of a softball.
It's not pizza, it's not pasta.
This food, it's like a cannonball of carbs.
It's arancini.
Yeah, they're 1 pound a piece.
It's 1 pound.
Yeah.
Chef Joe is the man behind both the dish and the restaurant. He's Italian and he's been cooking since age 16.
What do you think makes good Italian food?
Good food takes time to prepare. If you want to call me in the morning and I got to slap something together for you, I don't want to do it. You got to have heart, you got to have love.
Do you think Italian food requires a little more heart than other types of food? And then which foods require the least heart? That's kind of what I want to figure out.
I can't even make the hamburgers and hot dogs.
Like the guy doing the hot dog stand, not that much heart. We're here today for something called an arancini.
And it's basically rice with ragu inside. Ragu is slow cooked ground beef.
And all this is mashed together into a giant ball and then fried.
Yeah.
To make this righteous rice ball, we start with rice. Oil and onion come together in a pan, followed by tomato paste, creating a vibrant base for the rice. A secret seasoning adds flavor as we stir continuously until the rice is cooked. Arancini sounds like home to Italians, but it's still a stranger to most New Yorkers.
Why do you think the arancini isn't more popular?
Probably the labor. It's a lot of work.
But making a pizza seems like a lot of work too. I mean, you have to really have some skill with the dough, you have to know how to spin it.
But a pizza, you put it in the oven, the other guy takes it out. This is a more complicated process. You got to constantly stir it, you got to mix it, you got to stay in there. You can't just walk away from it.
Once cooked, the rice is blended with green peas and cheese. Arancini was born 11 centuries ago in southern Italy, where it began as a clever way to reuse leftover risotto.
It was brought over by the Arabs, and they brought over rice into Sicily. And from there it assimilated into the fabric of the people, because it's a poor man's food, and the South is a very poor region back then.
The rice is shaped into a ball and stuffed with beef ragu. The ball is then coated in breadcrumbs and dropped into a pool of boiling oil. All that's left to do is wait for it to turn golden brown.
Danielle, put her there.
Today I'm with Danielle, founder of Arthur Avenue Food Tours.
You are a professional Italian.
Yes, I am.
For a living, you just be Italian and tell people about Italian stuff.
I do.
Born in America with Italian roots, she uses her tours to highlight authentic local flavors and broaden people's perception of Italian-American cuisine.
I want to see today, if I spend more money on Italian food, does that mean better Italian food? And right now we're starting with the most affordable dish of the day. This is intimidating. It's big, it's heavy, it's greasy. I'm not going to even get to the ragu in my first bite.
What do you think?
It's nicer than I expected. I expected it to be very heavy, and it is.
It is.
Do you think I was going to say the opposite? No, it's very heavy. It's a giant, heavy carb bomb. There's some cheese within the rice even. The little peas inside offer a difference in texture. I can feel like... Love, love, love Italian culture. Look, we're in Little Italy. I'm assuming everything that happens, it's Italian people. Going back to the arancini, I think what you really want to get to is that center there with that beef and the cheese. That is probably the most satisfying part.
Center is definitely the best part.
Right, and it's kind of your reward. It's like, listen, if you can get through all this giant structure of rice, then you get the reward in the middle.
I don't think you should think of it as a side dish. This is a commitment. This is the meal. And often people have it for breakfast in Sicily.
That makes sense because it's big, it's bold. This will get you through a job where you're doing heavy labor for the next 12 hours.
While arancini may be the underdog at Mezzaluna Pizza,
go off on the deep end.
our next destination built its entire reputation on one type of Italian food, and they've been perfecting it for 80 years. Yet that legacy is just a slice of the deep history you'll find on Arthur Avenue.
This is Little Italy, but it's one of many Little Italies?
Yes.
I didn't know this was allowed. I thought per city there could be like one Chinatown, one Little Italy, one tiny Mumbai, one micro Tokyo. What's up with all the Little Italies? How does this work, and then how do you distinguish them?
The most famous Little Italy is the one on Mulberry Street in Manhattan, and it was not the biggest. The biggest one was actually East Harlem, which we know today is Spanish Harlem.
So why are we not at that one?
Well, I like to say the real Little Italy is in the Bronx. This neighborhood is this incredible anomaly. There are all of these businesses that have been here for over 100 years, still run by the same families. What you have here are all of these people that have been making these different foods for generations, and they have a distinct knowledge of them. You're going to find really high quality products at a really fantastic price as well, because so many of these mortgages have been paid off since 1935.
Bronx's Little Italy is a community shaped by the wave of Italian immigrants who arrived in New York in the 1900s. Most came as unskilled workers, chasing the American dream. Among them were the Borgattis. Lying just a short walk away from our first meal, Borgatti's Ravioli and Egg Noodles is one of the best shops for ravioli in the country. So good that people from Alaska and Hawaii place orders for delivery.
Today we've come to your shop because we want to learn more about the ravioli you're making here. But first, I want to know, what is ravioli?
Ravioli is an Italian pasta dish which consists of an egg dough with a filling in it stuffed in there like a pocket. A lot of times those are even used in broth or with the sauce.
Christopher Borgatti is the third-generation owner of this 80-year-old shop.
I'm looking around your shop. I don't see any ravioli in a can. I'm not exactly Italian, but that's the ravioli I grew up on.
And a lot of kids who went to camp.
Sure.
Of course, we make it fresh here, and we've been doing that since 1935.
The Borgatti ravioli recipe starts with wheat flour, eggs, and water mixed into a dough. This recipe was passed down by Chris's grandparents.
My grandmother was from Bologna and my grandfather was from Madonia. They actually came to the United States in 1907. In 1935, when my grandparents opened the store, they were selling 100 little ravioli for $1.
That's a good deal.
Oh yeah, back then, yeah.
Once the dough reaches the desired smoothness and elasticity, it moves into the ravioli machine, ready to be united with the filling.
We started out just making a ricotta-filled ravioli and a meat-filled ravioli, and it's just exploded into different types of fillings. Just recently, we're, I think, in our second year of making lobster ravioli.
At $38 a box, in this shop, lobster ravioli is the priciest dish on the menu. And that's exactly what I'm after. The filling is a blend of ricotta, lobster meat, eggs, seasonings, and Parmesan.
What is it that makes the lobster ravioli so expensive?
The cost of lobster varies throughout the season, so we just try to find a base level price. You don't want to overprice your product, but we don't want to cut back on our quality here, so we kind of stick to our guns and just hope for the best.
So you don't just write market price next to it?
Yeah, right? It doesn't have a changing board either.
That would be nice.
Once well blended, the lobster filling is fed into the ravioli machine, where the dough is already waiting. Each spin presses rows of plump ravioli, each one a pillow of dough cradling the lobster inside.
What do you think it is that draws people to ravioli? For me, it's because I like a little surprise inside my noodle. Sorry, I just said noodle, I meant pasta. I've been in Asia too long, I'm so sorry.
Ravioli was born in northern Italy more than 500 years ago and has since taken on countless shapes and flavors across the country. Making ravioli together is a cherished family ritual, especially during Christmas.
So yes, there's a surprise to it. Unlike flat pasta cuts, it's just basically the pasta, where this has a filling, and that's the extra treat to that type of dish.
Borgatti's has no dining room because it's not a restaurant. Their products usually leave the store uncooked in boxes. But today, Chris will make an exception, serving me lobster ravioli with garlic sauce on the spot.
You know, we're doing different themes in this series: Italian food, Chinese food. So, you know, for the Chinese food, we got a Chinese guy. But what about you?
Yeah, I think you got the wrong guy. I am Chinese.
This is Andrew, but most people know him as Babish, the guy who became a YouTube legend by recreating dishes from movies and TV shows. Beyond YouTube, he's also the author of 3 cookbooks.
I've always been told that I'm half Italian. Turns out that wasn't true, so I got my DNA tested. I'm like 11% Italian, but I've always identified as an Italian.
That's important. Right here we have ravioli. It looks gorgeous. I don't believe I've ever had homemade ravioli. I'm excited.
I've made ravioli and it's never looked like this.
First, the plump pasta pockets are boiled in salted water until tender.
In your mind, what makes a good ravioli?
I love really chewy, al dente pasta. A lot of filling, not a big air bubble, no blowouts, and as thin a border around the outside as humanly possible. And that's something they've definitely pulled off here. There's not even a centimeter of raw dough holding this whole thing together.
Right.
Next, the sauce. Chris starts by heating olive oil and butter, then adds minced garlic. Next comes half a cup of dry white wine, a cup of heavy cream, and a bit of grated cheese. When the cheese melts into a silky sauce, he stirs in a splash of lemon juice and a couple spoonfuls of fresh Italian parsley. Finally, crushed red pepper, salt, and black pepper.
I'm gonna cut it just right in half. Immediately, I can see the top of the shell popping up. You can see the fillings inside.
Oh my Lord.
It makes me feel like celebrating. Upon putting it in my mouth, I'm getting a huge hit of garlic. And then it's just that rich blend inside of there, contrasted with some sharp, sour lemon.
There's a lot of lemon juice going on here. And to me, that's like you're eating a lobster dinner in a bite because you're getting all the elements. You're getting butter, you're getting acid from the lemon, you're getting herbs, and you're getting pasta. This is like the whole thing distilled into a single bite.
The ravioli shell, amazing texture. You know, the first time I went to Italy, I couldn't believe the difference of eating something that was freshly made, that hadn't been dried out and rehydrated. It's hard to describe the texture. It's almost like a little doughy. It's not like falling apart soft. Meanwhile, anywhere you go in the USA, basically all the noodles will have been dried already, then rehydrated, and it's just not the same experience.
Not only does this taste elevated, this is almost the best of both worlds because you've got 4 generations of people who have mastered the art of pasta making. They're taking a very simple food and they have reached dizzying heights with how good it is. And then on the fancy, expensive side of things, they filled it with lobster. So this is a perfect midway point for this episode because you're really getting the best of both.
Whether it's humble ravioli or the $126 masterpiece I'm about to try, New York embraces Italian food in every form. And that's because this city is the biggest Italian hub in America.
Italians is the greatest contributor to New York culture that there is. New York City is all about pizza. That accent, that comes off as a New York accent, but here it's like an Italian-American accent. And it's no wonder that it has become a cornerstone of this city because there's a huge Italian populace here and it's stayed here. Italians are a very determined and bullish and protective people of each other, of themselves, of their businesses. They've made this place home and there's no getting them out of there. Not that we would want to.
Next, we're leaving Arthur Avenue's Old World charm and heading to Manhattan. Waiting for us at Santi Restaurant is a $126 Italian marvel prepared by Chef White, a man with 37 years of cooking experience and 6 Michelin stars to his name.
You are not Italian.
I am from Wisconsin and I'm Norwegian.
So what drove you to Italian fine dining?
When I graduated from college, I decided that I was going to be a chef. I went to Spiaggia, which was the first real high-end Italian restaurant in the United States in 1985. So I was really on the infancy stages of Italian cooking. And I went to Italy in 1993 and I got my PhD in Italian cooking. And on days off, I would be going to different restaurants and butchers and learning how to make pasta. And for a kid from Wisconsin, being able to have access to all those types of things, I wasn't coming back, okay? That was a done deal. And Santi is very much a culmination of those 37 years of cooking.
I want to talk about the dish that we're going to be trying today. It's called coniglio al forno. Wow. That took 3 hours of practice. So what it means is oven-baked rabbit.
Exactly.
Coniglio al forno begins with the painstaking task of deboning a rabbit.
The rabbit itself, coming from Pennsylvania. These are rabbits that get to run freely. They eat really, really good food, lots of beta carotene, lots of good veggies.
I just didn't know Pennsylvania was known for rabbits.
So these are premium ingredients. A lot of times the rabbits you get in the store are roasters, so they're 5 pounds and up, so they're going to be tough. Much more for braising, where this is for roasting and slicing to be very, very
So it's a
juicy
smaller,
and
it's
tender.
a younger rabbit.
It's a younger rabbit.
You know, anytime there's a little bit of like innocence in the meal, usually the price tag goes up.
You're paying for the innocence.
Yes, the sparkle in the eye, that costs extra.
The rabbit's legs are turned into a sausage filling,
And this rabbit sausage is seasoned with salt and pepper.
with the deboned rabbit itself serving as the sausage casing.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna season with salt and pepper to make sure we get an even seasoning and a little bit of black pepper. So we're gonna lay some Swiss chard down the middle, and this is a barrier actually for the sausage. We're going to wrap the Swiss chard up above the sausage a bit just to protect that. And now we're going to wrap it and bring the bellies together.
Rabbits arrived in Italy as early as the 3rd century, and they quickly won a regular place at the dinner table for their lean, nourishing meat.
So what we're doing is we're tying this not too snug. We don't want the rabbit to unravel when we're cooking it in the oven. But if you tied it too tight, it would burst, if you will. We're going to trim these, and we're going to go over to the roasting pan, and we're going to sear this on all sides, and then we're going to roast it in the oven.
Coniglio al forno isn't a single recipe. It refers to countless baked rabbit recipes across Italy, each with its own regional twist.
So we're going to lightly sear it on all sides because it's going to get roast inside the oven, and therefore we don't want to put too much color on it at the outset. So it's on a low heat, and we're going to start basting this with a little bit of butter.
Chef White draws inspiration for this particular recipe from Tuscany. This is his reinterpretation of porchetta, the classic preparation of deboned pork rolled with herbs and slow roasted.
Now we wait.
While the oven works, the rabbit's liver and kidneys are sautéed with butter and rosemary, then minced and mixed with parsley, olive oil, and vinegar, transforming it all into a dressing.
We have the rabbit out of the oven. So we like to trim just the end off, the first little bit of it, clean it up a little bit. It's been resting now for about 15 minutes. You definitely want to let it rest a little bit so all the juices get assimilated back into the center. So now we're going to go straight to the plate. We're going to serve this with some baby pea shoots and the vinaigrette that we have made using the livers. So this is a rabbit for two at Santi.
Only in New York can you find Broadway.
When you look at this dish, does it make you feel feelings?
It looks and it smells delicious. You can see the crispy skin on the outside. You can tell that it was beautifully made. Something like this is not that easy to actually implement, so I'm excited.
Before we try this, is this ravioli?
These are called cappellacci. Cappellacci means like an old hat, like a big floppy hat. So the idea is it looks like an old floppy peasant's hat, but it's stuffed with a rich rabbit ragu.
Ooh, rabbit ragu. This is my second ragu of the day. Should we give it a shot?
I can't wait.
Oh my God, that is delicious. First of all, just the texture of the pasta, outstanding. This was handmade, never dried.
Absolutely, yeah, this is fresh pasta.
Then when you get to the inside, it's kind of this rabbity puree almost. I don't know, you can feel some meat fibers, but it's very pasty.
It's the Parmigiano Reggiano that's mixed in there. Chef White trained in Emilia Romagna, and certainly the filling tastes like something that a true Emilian grandmother would make, but also it's like a really upscale version of it.
So this is our first video in this series in New York City, and we're exploring all these different cultural foods. One thing I've learned is when food comes here to New York City, even if it comes from a different country, sometimes it can change, transform, and become something new and something uniquely different from the place it came from. Do you think Italian food in New York City has its own identity?
I would say the New York Italian is going to be more derivative of Southern Italian food. I think when you come to New York, of course, having a slice of pizza is a quintessentially New York experience. Huge influx of Neapolitan immigrants is why we've got amazing pizza. Even like the New York accent, the forget about it, it kind of comes from a Neapolitan, a Southern Italian accent.
So a lot of the immigration came from the South, and so that's what dictated the types of food that are popular here now.
Absolutely.
So that is the chapati?
Cappellacci.
So that is the cappellacci. And then we edit it and people think I'm smart.
There you go.
Wow, you picked up on that word real fast. He didn't say chapati at all. From here we move on to the rabbit. So this, I guess, is the ground up portion here, which makes up most of the volume. And then the meat, like the rabbit's torso or body, is wrapped around it.
I'm gonna have a bite that has all components, skin, saddle, and stuffing.
100%.
It's delicious, yeah.
The texture, it's interesting because I would think one of the biggest challenges in cooking a rabbit would be whether it's dry or not, because they have a pretty low fat content. But this is pretty succulent. Oftentimes when people are working with leaner meats, they'll put in a little bit of pork in there to get it juicy and like get those animal fats going. But here it's just 100% rabbit, so I'm very impressed with the texture of it and how not dry it is.
It's really good.
What's interesting about this dish, from my research, is that it said it's kind of a countryside traditional food. Meanwhile, we're eating it at an upscale restaurant. So is this the authentic preparation of this dish, or would this be more of a premium, high-end, fine dining take on this dish?
Well, both. Most Italian food is peasant food, and rabbit is going to be really cheap, abundant meat. Every region of Italy, especially in the countrysides or in mountainous regions, you have some sort of a rabbit dish. This is the saddle of the rabbit, which is considered the most tender part, so this is a more elegant preparation, but like still not out of the realm of something that grandma might make for a Sunday dinner.
There's also two very distinct components that work together. The kind of ground meat on the inside, heavily seasoned, very herbaceous. That is like this flavor nucleus inside. Then on the outside, the saddle has a lot more fat. It has a little bit of a snap to it, like the outside of a sausage. I'm very impressed.
Yeah, it's delicious.
3 Italian dishes, 3 different price tags, 1 winner. For me, the ravioli from Borgatti's gave me the most bang for my buck.
For me, that ravioli just hit different. It tastes like it was made by my Italian grandmother. And I don't even have an Italian grandmother, or any grandmother. They all died.
But how does the story change when we leave Little Italy and cross into Chinatown? Next up, we're taking on the most expensive Chinese food in all of New York City.
It has creatures from the air, from the land, and from the sea, and even some from the 4th dimension.
But first, something much more affordable. Meet Gabe, the owner of West King Rice Roll, a Chinese eatery in New York's oldest Chinatown.
I have a special mission. My mission is to see if spending more money on Chinese food gets me better Chinese food. Right here, we've come to our most affordable and first location of the day. Can you tell me what kind of food you're serving here?
The rice roll.
Rice roll.
A rice roll is a silky sheet of steamed rice batter, wrapped around fillings like shrimp, barbecue pork, or beef, then drizzled with a sweet soy sauce.
If I order the shrimp rice roll, how much is that?
$5.40 with the tax.
With tax?
With tax.
My buddy, this is the USA.
Yeah.
We never include tax. $4.95?
$4.95. Yeah.
Even better.
Here's how they make it. First, the rice. It's soaked, then milled into a smooth batter. The same process Cantonese cooks used more than 1,000 years ago.
In a good day, how many people do you have coming here?
1,000 people. Must be 1,000.
Once the batter is ready, a steaming tray is brushed with oil and filled with the milky rice mixture.
The rice roll is part of Cantonese cuisine, right?
Yes.
When I think Cantonese cuisine, I think dim sum, I think a lot of roasted meats, and then I guess there is a lot of use of rice flour and rice batter.
Next comes the protein. Today I'm opting for fresh shrimp with a sprinkle of scallions.
It's all we gotta do.
What do you think makes good Cantonese cuisine?
Rice roll.
Rice roll?
Yeah, must be.
I'm on my game all day, the same all day.
Are you making the recipe the same here, or did you change it for Americans?
Change American, yeah.
Really? Why?
Because I like American. The American guys like a very heavy taste, so we try to do the heavy taste
With soy sauce?
soy sauce, and the rice must put some salt there.
Oh. You don't often hear about Asian recipes being changed to add more flavor here in the US. Usually they're decreasing the flavor.
Finally, a drizzle of soy sauce and a sprinkle of sesame seeds seal the deal.
Robert?
Hey,
Put her there.
nice to meet you.
Meet Robert, originally from Beijing, China. Now as an American living in New York City, he works as a tour guide, specializing in Chinatown's food and history.
Today we're going to be seeing if putting more money into Chinese food gets you better Chinese food. What do you think?
I think that's not the case. Money is not the measurement, I guess.
Interesting.
You can spend $1 or a few dollars, get really good food.
You're saying the difference in price has nothing to do with flavor.
I don't think so. Yeah.
If what he's saying is true, then why are some people willing to pay nearly $5,000 for a single Chinese dish? Later today, I'm gonna find out.
This one is the most expensive one, costs about 3,000 1 pound.
Oh my gosh.
But first, a plate that costs nearly 1,000 times less.
I'm in love. That's really good. The texture of this flat noodle, it's a little bit gummy, it's squishy. It's a nice contrast in texture to that shrimp, which is really bouncy and springy.
I totally agree. To create this springy texture, they actually soak the rice one day earlier before they mill the rice.
Oh my god, I love this. The problem with this, it's $5. I could probably eat 3 of these. I mean, it fills the plate, but does it fill my stomach?
Well, usually this is a breakfast stable. You come here 2 minutes, you get your meal, you get on with your way.
Here's what's fun about our plan today. We're gonna be eating 3 different foods, but they come from 3 different parts of China. And we're starting with Cantonese food. Why do you think this is an important food to Cantonese cuisine?
Cantonese food is famous for their freshness. That's what the marketing or their selling point. And this is like epitome of Cantonese food, cooked right in front of you, showcase how fresh they are.
Cantonese cuisine isn't just big in China, it's the one that went global. For decades, what most Americans called Chinese food was really Cantonese, brought over by the first wave of immigrants more than a century ago.
Back in the 1800s, they settled here. They settled where it was cheap because Chinese are, I'm not saying it's a closed society, but they have no idea of constituents, they have no idea of election, elect your officials, so they kind of band together. So for this community, it's still relatively new compared to the other ethnic neighborhoods.
Today, New York is home to 9 Chinatowns, spread across Brooklyn, Queens, and Manhattan, altogether housing nearly 1 million people.
Chinatown here in Manhattan is more than 150 years old. Here, you can still find authentic Chinese restaurants. There's still people that born, grew up, and die here.
Oh, you got really dark at the end there.
So maybe I should cut that.
Talking about people just dying.
Cantonese cuisine laid the foundation in Chinatown, but later, waves of migration brought folks from different backgrounds, with recipes not before seen in New York City, like our next dish. A fiery Szechuan creation you won't find on the menu at P.F. Chang's.
Ivy, today we're on a mission to see if spending more money on Chinese food equals better Chinese food. And that has brought me to your restaurant.
Miss Ivy opened famous Sichuan 13 years ago.
Who is coming to this restaurant to eat?
Asian people, American people, white people, black people come here to eat.
But no Samoans. You notice she excluded the Samoans? What's that about?
In a neighborhood full of Cantonese options, this place brings a taste of China different from most her neighbors.
China has so many different types of food, but what separates Szechuan food from any other type of food in China?
谈到这些麻辣的食物。
Oh, I know mala. Mala is a numbing spice.
Yes.
I learned all about mala
You got it.
in Chengdu by a very wise Chinese man.
辣 means spicy, 麻 means numbing.
Mala, a unique signature Sichuan combination derived from peppercorns and chilies. Together, they create the bold flavor this cuisine is known for.
Even though I've been to Sichuan province in China, I've not tried what we're about to try today.
毛血旺。
Does that have a direct translation into English?
Including also 毛血旺。
If you have to translate it, offals, blood, flourish, and a big pot sizzling oil.
The 毛血旺 is very special for include chicken, beef, vegetable, everything.
That's smart, because maybe you don't like blood cubes, but you like chicken. Or maybe you don't like chicken, but you like beef. Quite literally, a whole farm is in this dish.
First, the base. It's made of garlic, fried chilies, Sichuan peppercorns, chili oil, beef, and chicken, all tossed together in a fiery stir-fry.
Do you find a lot of Midwestern Americans curious about a place like this?
To be honest, no. People don't think it's presentable. It's bloody, too spicy, too much. They didn't want to venture out to give it a try.
In another wok, blanch veggies, pork intestines, spam, pork blood cakes, and beef tripe.
Do you lower the amount of mala?
Yeah, customer can choice not spicy, medium spicy, or extra spicy. Don't worry.
Well, that makes me a little worried. What are we doing today, Robert? Are we doing extra spicy?
Yeah, go for the authentic one.
That's amazing.
Oh no, did fire come out?
Yeah. It's burning in my mouth.
I don't want it anymore.
I feel so connected back to Szechuan.
Then bring it all together. 2 woks, 1 mission. Add a splash of water, a pinch of salt, and some pepper. The history of this dish goes back to the 1940s, where it was born out of necessity, turning scraps and animal organs into a fiery stew.
So far we've had Cantonese food. This is Szechuan food, but those are just 2 of the 8 great Chinese cuisines. I think a lot of Americans just think Chinese food is Chinese food, but it's such a vast country that they've actually broken the country into 8 different master cuisines.
Yes.
The hilarious thing is that if you look at that map, about half the country is nothing. So they're like, we got 8 master cuisines, and then we got some kind of mid-food in the middle.
So the categorization was made during the Qing dynasty. It's the height of the Chinese dynasty. On the court, you have to have multiple courses. Even for mundane people, you want to have some good food. So that's when this categorization happened. 8 main regional cuisines, but there are more than that.
Which is wild. 8's already a lot.
Yeah.
Here we have... oh, the fire burned out. Here we have like a cousin to the hot pot. It's a hot bowl. If we're gonna go from kind of safe to more extreme, what do you recommend starting with?
Chicken, beef. Let's start with those.
Cheers.
There you go. Tender.
The chicken is soft, it's succulent. The broth is super greasy and oily, just like all of Szechuan cooking. This is unusually unspicy, and there's so many chilies in here, I can't believe how not that hot it is. But the most unique part of this chicken is all the gaminess from the intestines have rubbed off onto the chicken. It's kind of intense, but I still like it.
Now beef. Look at chewy.
A little spongy. The more broth I get, the more heat that's building up. Let's keep that going. These are some quaint, small blood cubes. If you go to Vietnam, they're like 10 times this size.
Oh, yeah.
I like it. It's a little crumbly. Yeah. It's a bit sticky too, but it doesn't have a strong flavor. It's just taking on the flavor of the seasonings in the hot pot. But I like it.
Let's dig for the Spam.
Can you tell me about the story of Spam working its way into a food like this?
So Spam is still very popular in Asia, especially in the Philippines. Spam actually was introduced by GIs during World War II. In China, Chongqing was the war capital. There was a food shortage and we dropped food to the poor Chinese people in Chongqing. So the original recipe, there was no chicken or beef. It's just Spam and then all the intestines from the animal.
So over time, people developed a taste for Spam.
Yes.
Let's give it a shot. Good old Spam.
Hearty, greasy, of course.
It has a strong flavor. It comes with enough salt for 5 days and enough grease for 3.
You're right, salt and fat, the most two important ingredients to make food tasty. Next one, we're gonna go a little bit adventurous. I got a piece of tripe here.
Oh yeah, that's a nice piece of tripe.
This one comes out a kind of dark gray color. Once you wash it and bleach it, it gets this little lighter color. Bleached.
At a dry cleaner?
No, I don't know. This is definitely processed, not the original tripe. Very crunchy.
Yeah, that tastes great. Not funky. It's just absorbed these oils and these delicious spicy flavors. It's got a little crunch to it. But then there's this, the intestine. And let me tell you, the type of intestine that scares me is this. The intestine that's essentially not hollow looking. It's just full of fatty tissue.
It is pork intestine. It's supposed to be the end, the large intestine.
Oh, the end.
The end of the digestive tract.
That's amazing.
Toward the end.
All right, let's go for it.
Softer than I thought.
Soft, gummy, it's got some funk to it. It's not a bad flavor, and it's a flavor that if you just mix it with everything else that's in here, it's just contributing to the greater good. It's like New York City. It's a melting pot. But instead of Puerto Ricans and Chinese, we have Spam, we have stomach, we have intestine, and they're all working together to make it a better place.
You're absolutely right.
From affordable Cantonese rice rolls to mid-priced Sichuan spice, it's time to move on to the absolute most expensive Chinese food you'll find in all of New York City. A dish with a price tag coming in at nearly $5,000. The question is, why are people willing to spend so much on food?
After you finish this, you will feel younger than before.
How old are you? Because you look about 35.
I am a senior.
A senior in high school?
No.
Grace, the former general manager here, welcomes us to Dim Sum Palace, a grand Fujianese banquet chain with 12 locations across New York City.
What we're focusing on now is a dish called Buddha Jumps Over the Wall, and it's originally from the Fujian area of China, right?
That's right.
Fujian cuisine comes from China's southeast coast. It's known for delicate broths, slow-simmered soups, and making the most of rare dried seafood.
How is the food of Fujian province different from other Chinese food?
This is the epitome of Fujianese cooking. They use a lot of earthy ingredients.
Because it's close by the sea, that's why the people like to eat the seafood.
And we have some of that seafood in front of us today that's going to be part of this dish. But if I'm honest, the dish we're going to be eating, it has a little bit of everything. It has creatures from the air, from the land, and from the sea, and even some from the fourth dimension that haven't been created yet. Is this difficult to find here?
Very hard. We have to order it in advance. This one, there's a bologna. It's the most expensive one. It costs about 3,000 1 pound.
Oh my gosh. So it's all about the high quality, rare ingredients.
That's right.
Why are people eating this in general? Is it about the flavor or is it about the health benefit?
Mostly it's the flavor, and the second one is health benefit. That's why you see no wrinkle, no plastic surgery.
I got a little bit of plastic surgery. I don't want to talk about it. Let's move on.
The dish begins with the broth. Chop whole chickens and pork into chunks.
How often are you making this in the restaurant?
Maybe once a month.
Boil them clean.
The type of people who order this food, who are these people? These are titans of industry? Are these rich Chinese businessmen?
They have the business from China and here. They order this kind of food.
So they have money?
Of course. They don't care of the money.
Then seal them with water to steam for 6 hours, creating a base as rich as it is time-consuming.
What is the most expensive pot of Buddha Jumps Over the Wall you've ever made?
8,000.
Can we split it?
Sure.
Thank you so much.
No, this one on me.
Next comes the preparation of those rare and expensive ingredients. Scallops rehydrated, abalone soaked for days, sea cucumber steamed and cooled again and again until it swells.
I have this one daily.
Really?
One piece a day. No cholesterol at all.
Yeah, it's not a steak, it's a sea cucumber.
Fish maw simmered overnight. Even deer tendon is fried, steamed, then chilled for a full day before it's ready.
Is this an American deer?
American deer.
And then what happened? Someone hit this with their car?
Oh, no. They have the farm deer.
That makes more sense.
Uh-huh.
Traditionally, this food includes shark fin, but in New York City, where we are right now, shark fin is banned. It's prohibited, it's illegal, you cannot have it. Especially would not be a good idea to have it in a YouTube video inside your restaurant. Here, you also have what appears to be a fin.
This one we call it a yellow fish.
I think she's referring to the elephant fish. The texture of the fin is very similar to shark fin.
Finally, everything comes together in one glorious pot. That 6-hour braised chicken, tender deer tendon, slices of ham, abalone, fish maw, sea cucumbers, scallops, elephant fish fin, sea snail, and last but not least, cordyceps.
It's a fungus that grows out of a worm that has then been dried. Now, these per pound, I believe, are even more expensive than the abalone.
Like one piece almost costs $30.
$30, and it weighs nothing.
That's right, good for the older people.
Good for longevity.
Look at you, you're so young, don't have it.
Thank you so much.
All of it sits in a rich chicken and pork broth, then gets steamed again for another 6 hours, until every ingredient gives up its essence, melting together into one deep, luxurious soup.
Alan.
What's up?
Thank you for joining us way over there.
This is Alan, co-founder of Fuzhou America and a leading voice on the Fujianese diaspora. As someone highly experienced in Fujian cuisine, he's here to guide us through this once-in-a-lifetime meal.
Do you have any idea how much this costs?
$2,000-$3,000.
Okay, and that's a crazy guess. $4,800, and that's without tip. Oh my God, I don't even want to think about the tip.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, usually when you're eating family style, you just scoop up some food by yourself. But here it's a little bit different. This is enough portions for 10 people, but he wants to make sure each one of us gets the exact ratio and proportion of soup. Chinese American food is its own category of food, and it's a category of food that I love. I love General Tao's chicken, I love spring rolls or egg rolls, but this is something completely different. How much of a divide do you see in New York City between Chinese American food and this?
My take is, for American, we want something fast, quick, and delicious. That's why American Chinese food were created, like General Tso's chicken, even egg rolls. They were born here. But in China, I think, well, the food, they're meant to be shared. And then this one, in particular, I mean, it's ceremonial.
Do you think more people in the US should be open to wandering into Chinatown and trying more unknown, more uncommon dishes?
Definitely. Sign up with my tour. Barry Boy walks. But I think Americans should go out more, experience more.
Yeah, I think it never hurts to challenge your palate because, especially when it comes to Asian food, you're probably going to walk away finding something you really like. I think we should start with something I've never tried before, and that would be this rehydrated scallop.
It's still a little chewy.
You can feel the individual fibers of the mussels splitting apart. That's fascinating.
Somehow it tastes like jerky.
Sure.
Dry scallops, I would say, is one of the lesser expensive ingredients that is pretty prevalent in Fujianese soup cooking.
We should move on to our insect friend.
$30 a piece.
Wow. Not what I expected out of something in the shape of a worm. It's very solid, and it tastes a little bit woody.
Yes, it's not soft at all.
No.
It's chewy.
Next, I'm really curious about this tendon.
They said these deers were raised on a farm, not hit by a truck. Let's give it a shot. Tendon is actually interesting because actually tendon is not fat, it's almost pure protein.
Tendon's also, I feel like, a very acquired taste. It's not really well known, but it's something that is super healthy, super delicious, and kind of takes on a lot of flavor.
I'm starting to see why people like this dish. It's really a culinary adventure. It's not something you just scarf down, it's something you kind of treasure as you're eating it.
Yeah.
And each individual ingredient kind of tells its own story. This is the fin. Now, typically, this would be the most controversial part of this meal if it were a shark fin. Instead, it's been replaced by an elephant fish, and apparently people don't give a shit about the elephant fish.
That's great.
This is amazing.
It's fibrous. I mean, you can feel the individual fibers of the fin, but they, of course, have become very soft through so much boiling or steaming.
And a light crunch, really, really fine, like jellyfish.
From your experience, does it still taste traditional and authentic?
Super authentic. I think if I had to rate the one I had in China as like an 8.5 or a 9, this is like a 8 or 8.5. So like super close.
This is the sea cucumber.
Wow.
That's cool. It's such a unique texture. Every time you bite it, it kind of jolts around your mouth a little bit.
And it's one of those like pure texture foods. It doesn't even take on any flavor.
This is a great start, but we still have one of the most prized ingredients remaining. Let's give it a shot.
All right.
Our guy here, he is going in and he's fishing out the abalone. Now these things have expanded beautifully from before. Then he's gonna hit them with abalone sauce. Gentlemen, before we try our final masterpiece right here, I just want to take a moment to appreciate the fact that most Americans probably have no idea that this type of Chinese food exists in the USA.
Sonny, you're the third celebrity that I know who ever tried this dish. Ronald Reagan and then Queen Elizabeth II.
I've never heard of either of them, but they sound nice. We're gonna cut it in half. Oh wow, it's still pretty dense. I mean, I can hardly pull my fork out of it.
Yeah.
It's really hard. Then we have this abalone sauce on the side. I'm gonna give it a little bit of a dip. Wow.
Not melting, but it's easy to chew.
Yeah, it's not tough to chew through. It's interesting. It's still a firm, dense texture, and it's a little bit livery.
It tastes livery, but not gamey. More mushroom adjacent for me. So it has kind of that earthiness, and it has a lot of just like natural seafood umami.
I think this is a delicious way to end the meal. Get a to-go box, and we can dump this inside and enjoy it for the next week.
3 Chinese dishes, 3 different price tags, 1 winner. For me, the rice rolls from West Rice Roll King deliver the most bang for my buck.
I'm in love. That's really good.
Shake what your mama gave you.
But how do things stack up when we exit Chinatown and enter Harlem for a taste of soul food?
The smell is intense. It's pungent.
It is.
Next up, we're taking on the most expensive fried chicken in New York City.
When chefs are inspired by soul food, but they're trying to make something high-end, is there a point at which that food stops being soul food?
But first, something much more affordable, right here in Harlem, a soul food buffet. But this buffet comes with a little twist.
Eat as much as you can, as long as you keep paying for it.
Yes.
Asterisk, keep paying.
Meet the owner, Miss Kim. She grew up in Trinidad and Tobago, then came to the USA chasing the American dream.
Does that factor into any of the cuisine here?
In 2009, she and her husband opened Jacob Restaurant, serving up their own unique spin on soul food.
It's not exactly the same, but you can find similarities between soul food and Caribbean food. So we don't have chitlins, but we have a form of chitlins. It's called souse.
Sure, I had souse in the Bahamas.
Pigfoot or...
It was sheep head or face.
Okay.
The coolest thing about this place, the food is hot and ready from the moment you step in the door, served up buffet style.
One of the major advantages of a place like this is you could sample 10 different foods in one meal.
But here, you don't pay a flat fee. You pay by the pound.
Now, if you're smart like me, you're gonna go less with the Jell-O and more with the ribs. Jell-O's holding a lot of water. Not as much bang for your buck. Sorry, I have to throw in some buffet tips.
And for a city as pricey as New York, this place is a steal, offering a full pound of food for just $9.99.
Since we've opened, we've always had reasonable pricing. We try our best to keep it where our customers can continue to enjoy the affordable food we supply.
Soul Food has a long list of iconic dishes, from fried chicken to mac and cheese. But today, we're here for the oxtail.
Oxtail is interesting because it's one of those foods that used to be overlooked, and then people turned this into something extremely delicious that has now become something extremely coveted. The market prices are going up because everybody's trying to get it now.
To prepare oxtail, the pre-sliced portions are tossed into a pot with water and scallions, onions, a load of spices, and thyme.
Are you putting it in a pressure cooker?
We don't cook it in a pressure cooker, no.
So that means you need to braise it even longer.
We do.
Once the meat is nice and tender, heat some oil in a large pan. Toss in onions, green bell peppers, and red bell peppers. Then kick things up with some minced garlic and tomato paste. Stir it through, then pour in enough water to cover everything. Add garlic powder, dry chicken stock, food coloring, and gravy concentrate. Ooh, that's some focused gravy.
We cook it for about 2 to 3 hours, and then we braise it for about 2 hours, so it's soft.
Really soft.
I'm back where the blacktop breathes and brass.
Finally, combine water and cornstarch. Then pour it in to give that sauce its final silky thickness.
Loud in the mouth of death, yeah.
Today I'm doing an experiment to see, does putting more money into my soul food get me better soul food? You're gonna be with me later today as I eat one of the most expensive soul food dishes I've ever seen. Wow.
Red Rooster.
That's right.
Meet Chef Mark, a proud New Yorker who spent decades perfecting his craft.
You are the personal chef for Fat Joe, who is now Skinny Joe.
Skinny Slim Joe.
Are you responsible for that?
I'm partly responsible.
After working in kitchens all across the city, he became Fat Joe's personal chef.
For you, what is the definition of soul food?
Yeah.
To me, it's the love of food coming from the South. When it comes to oxtails, it comes to chitlins, it comes to pig's feet, because that was the scraps that were given to people back in slavery days. You took everything that was kind of the scraps and made it into something, and it evolved into its own cuisine. So we kind of heightened what the scraps were.
I'm sweating in the back, breath smelling like sin.
These are a couple of iconic recipes that you hear about often in soul food: candied yams and oxtail. Now, I think we should build up to the oxtail, but first of all, candied yams.
Start by loading yams into a giant pot, then dump in sugar, water, yellow food coloring, and an entire brick of butter. Now bring it all to a boil.
I grew up on candied yams. This is a staple. You gotta have this for holidays, Easter, Christmas.
To the bridge. Once the yams are soft, stir in cornstarch dissolved in water to thicken up that sweet buttery sauce.
I think that it's a phenomenal dish because when you do it, it tastes like dessert.
Pour the mixture into a food tray and finish it off with cinnamon and raisins.
Let's try it out.
Cheers. That's not too bad.
Okay, the yam itself is already very sweet. They're not too soft and they're not too hard, but then there's just a nice glaze on there. It's not overly sweet, but just enough to accompany the natural sweetness from the yam. I like it.
It's a good yam too, because even when you don't pick that yam right, you can get a yam and it's kind of not sweet, more like a bitter taste.
It's not ready.
It's not ready. This is ready.
Just like a talent agent. You have to know when they're ready.
That's right.
Like P. Diddy.
He's more than ready. He's been overcooked.
So right here we have the oxtail. Now, they look saucy. I like the amount of meat that I'm seeing around that bone. For me, I don't want to have a bone and then just a little bitty piece of meat around that bone. Like the bigger the diameter around the bone, the better.
Didn't I teach you that word already?
Pause? Okay. I'm talking a lot about bones and meat, and it's all about to go in my mouth. Pause. All right, let's go for it. Mine is not tough at all, especially for not being in a pressure cooker. I'm pretty impressed. I mean, it certainly has some bite to it. It's not falling off the bone, but at least it's not tough. I like the taste of the gravy. It's very salty. There's a bunch of turmeric inside. My fingers are dyed yellow. This is a good food to eat while you're driving.
Yeah, sure. You just drive, pick, throw the bone out the window.
This makes sense for this price point here. I think if they put it in a pressure cooker, it might get a little bit softer, maybe a little bit more gooey. The fat would render down a little bit more because there are some harder chunks of fat or lard just staying in that fatty shape. But overall, satisfying. This was a great start. For the price point, there's a lot going on here. But I'm just getting started. I have a lot more to see today, and by the end of this video, we're going to reunite at Red Rooster for the most elevated version of soul food that I'll be trying today. You ready?
I'm on with you, brother.
After that oxtail, we're moving on to an even more unusual animal organ. I'm talking about pig intestines. In soul food, this once discarded part of the animal became a dish known as chitlins. And here at Sylvia's, people now pay a pretty penny for the very same dish, a dish pioneered by a soul food legend.
My mom was a person that loved people, and she loved for people to enjoy her cooking.
To learn more about her story and the restaurant she started, I'm joined by the CEO and Sylvia's son, Kenneth.
She felt it was a privilege for her to serve a guest.
And her grandson, Marcus. He's the head chef and the man in charge of delivering top-notch intestines.
The biggest thing about Sylvia's was always like people coming to my grandmother's house, and my grandmother always wanted the highest standard of food because that's what makes people want to be around you. I accepted that role as this is still grandma's house, and as long as people are coming here, they're going to get the best food from me.
In the early 1900s, millions of Black Americans left the South, carrying their culture, their music, and their food to new cities in the North, a movement known as the Great Migration. One of them was Sylvia Woods, who brought her southern roots to Harlem and built one of the most iconic soul food restaurants in America.
Coming from the South, the town that we grew up in, people took their food so serious. So that's what she brought to Harlem.
When it comes to soul food, there are so many different iconic dishes that belong to that category, but today I'm here for one. Now, if you looked at it written on paper, it might look like chitterlings, but I believe that's not how it's pronounced.
We call it chitlins.
Yes.
Chitlins.
Chitlins.
Some proper folks say chitterlings.
Yeah.
I don't want to be that proper.
No. Once you eat enough of that, you're not going to be saying chitterlings anymore. Yeah, no.
To make the chitterlings, or chitlins, first clean the pig's intestines and stomach thoroughly with vinegar. And I do mean thoroughly, or else the odor this organ puts off could be too much to bear.
They come in clean, but you're still going to clean them regardless because you want to clean them as much as possible.
Next, move them to a big pot of water. Add celery, onions, and even more vinegar. Then boil for 3 hours.
I've never tried this food, but about a year ago, I was in Malaysia and I was eating pig fallopian tubes.
Okay. Wow, I've never heard of that being eaten, but
Right, so I was eating it across from my good friend Calvin, and as he took a bite, he said,
Not only does it look delicious, but it reminds me of chitlins in the South.
and I just thought, oh man, I haven't tried that food yet. I have tried fallopian tubing, but I've not tried chitlins, so I think it's long overdue.
Once cooked, strain and add ice. The ice stops the meat from cooking further and locks in their signature springy texture.
a lot of foreigners will try it when they come to the restaurant. Because when they see the title, they're thinking chicken or something like that, and it's like, no. So when you describe it, they're like, oh, no, that's not what I was getting.
Now chop the intestines and stomach into smaller, more bite-sized pieces. Back into the pot they go, this time with chopped celery, another hit of vinegar, Sylvia's collard green seasoning, chicken rub, black pepper, chili flakes, bay leaves, and salt.
You are eating chitlins, it's something that you grew up eating, but a lot of that upbringing is kind of fading away. A lot of people aren't growing up in the house with Big Mama telling you to eat chitlins.
Finally, scoop them out and serve on a plate as the centerpiece, with the supporting cast of mac and cheese and collard greens on the side.
I am about to go on a culinary journey, and you are my guide. Can you tell me what this food means to you and where this fits in with your life or your childhood?
Oh my God. These chitlins, they transport me back to my Grandma Amelia's kitchen. Now, chitlins were only served at special occasions. When you saw chitlins on that table, you knew that it was something great either happening or about to happen.
Joining me for this meal, Sylvia's niece, Melba Wilson, the restaurateur, cookbook author, and TV personality known as the new queen of soul food.
So this is my first time seeing chitlins in front of me on a plate. The smell is not what I expected. It's a pretty strong, intense, kind of gamey, porky smell.
Yeah, it's pungent.
It's pungent.
It is.
And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It's been the case with many foods I've tried that they have a strong smell, but then when you eat it, it's a much more mild flavor.
Totally. It's the same thing with chitlins.
I think we should build up to the chitlins and maybe try one of these sides. Which one is speaking to you here?
Oh my God. Well, you know, it's all about them greens, baby. It's all about the greens. So let's go in for the collard greens.
Collard greens trace their roots to Africa, but they found a new home in the American South, where these hardy, loose-leaf cabbages thrived in poor soil. Slow-cooked with bits of pork, they became a cornerstone of traditional soul food.
Collard greens, again, were bitter greens, so a lot of people did not want them. We, again, had to take these and turn them into something that were delicious and delectable.
Let me give it a shot.
Cooked to perfection.
And I love the addition of pork here too. Immediately I can see it and I can
Also
taste it.
stemmed.
There's pork fat inside. You're getting the animal juices mixed with the greens.
And I love having some stems to give it texture as well.
So you could try to compare it to boiled spinach, but it's more firm. And like you said, the stems give it even a more firm, fibrous texture.
These are really good.
So that leads me to the mac and cheese.
The mac and cheese.
You might think mac and cheese is as American as it gets, but its story starts with Thomas Jefferson's enslaved chef, James Hemmings, who learned to make the dish in France and brought the recipe back to Virginia, creating one of America's most loved comfort foods.
Let's go for it. There's some good mac and cheese right here. I love that the cheese is evenly distributed through the mac. This is what you call good eats. Good eats.
Very good.
So good.
Are all these recipes still the same?
Oh, these recipes are the same. The restaurant's just celebrated 63 years.
Sylvia's recipes have remained the same for decades, but the neighborhood around Sylvia's has not.
Me growing up as a kid here in Harlem, a special place. I remember walking down to the Renaissance Ballroom and just waiting to see who would walk out. Would it be James Brown? Would it be Gladys Knight?
What began as a cultural hub for Black America was later devastated by the heroin and crack epidemics.
Got hit terribly by drugs, and it was less desirable to live here.
Now, Harlem is safer, but it's not the same. Gentrification's pushing out some of those who built it, and soon we'll meet a woman fighting to preserve its culture. But first, chitlins.
This is so many chitlins. I've had plenty of intestines in my life. Usually it's a smaller pile.
These are some good chitlins.
The nose experience is very different from the mouth experience. The olfactory experience is very gamey, it's got a funk to it, and it's intimidating, if I'm honest. When I first smelled it, I go, oh wow, it really still has a lot of intensity to it. But when you put it in your mouth, it's almost like eating a nice stinky piece of cheese. This food is anything but bland.
Oh, it's delicious, it's delectable, it's delightful. It's chitlins, Sonny, it's chitlins.
The texture itself is very soft. Every bite you take, it's like a sponge of juices being squeezed out of the intestines.
Totally. I see you're going back for seconds and thirds. You are enjoying the chitlins.
I like it way more than I thought I would.
Yes.
It's really good.
It's amazing.
From chitlins, we're leveling up to a soul food icon, fried chicken. But this is no ordinary fried chicken. In fact, the price for this entire fried chicken platter is $182. So how did they get to that price for something that seems so simple?
Does more money equal better soul food?
Well, I don't think it's as simple as that.
To tell me more, the man behind Red Rooster Harlem, Chef Marcus Samuelsson, whose cooking is known for blending soul food with global influences.
You're born in Ethiopia, but you grow up in Sweden, and you're there for a couple of decades. Can you tell me when and how you got more interested in the types of flavors that you're serving here at Red Rooster?
As a black chef, I always wanted to learn more about black cooking in America and my own identity. Where does that fit into? So that's a long sort of process. It took me 10 years.
Born in Ethiopia, Chef Marcus Samuelsson was adopted to Sweden at age 3, where his grandmother inspired his love for cooking. Following that passion, he moved to Harlem, learning from local diners and legendary black chefs. Red Rooster Harlem is his story on a plate, or should I say, platter.
So the idea of making high-end soul food, it's interesting because many would say, soul food came out of lack. People not having premium cuts of the animal, people having to make do with whatever they had and somehow still making it taste delicious. So how do you marry that with this idea of making food more premium or at a higher level?
Well, it comes down to experience. When you go to a Spanish restaurant in Spain, part of it is the journey and the experience. And Southern cooking, soul food experience is no different. When you eat at Red Rooster, where we have live music 5-6 nights a week, that is very different than singular eating in a restaurant with no entertainment. We put out platters because that actually stops our service from going back and forth so many times. It doesn't make a lot of noise for the musicians. We built this with the total experience that we do at Red Rooster.
Perfect. Chef, let's go make some chicken.
Right now, I'm going to show you how to make Red Rooster's world famous fried chicken. I got my chicken over here, bone in, which really sets us up to have a really nice, moist chicken. And then I got my bread, we got some regular flour and some cornmeal. That's really the blend of the crunch.
Woke up to the hum of the A-train side.
Spices, some of them secretive, some of them not. Smoked paprika, some dried parsley, some thyme, a little bit of pepper and cumin. You want to blend this up.
From here, each piece of chicken is dredged and sent straight to the fryer.
Then we go down and fry it again. The second fry is what's going to reassure the crunch.
Finally, he finishes with a glaze of honey, lemon, and berbere seasoning, Chef Marcus Samuelsson's signature touch. On the side, it's served with creamy stone ground grits and macaroni and cheese. The final product, soul food on another level.
When we talk about original cuisines in America, we have a lot of food, but we do not have a lot of original cuisines. So I would say, Native American cooking, soul food is right there. Creole is another original cuisine, right? So it's not a lot of times that you find something that is truly original in cooking.
What about tater tot hot dish? That's a hit.
Returning for the final meal, Chef Mark. Across from him, Nicole Moore, a writer, activist, and the creative force behind Black Harlem Lives.
So I saw part of this in the kitchen. I saw the fried chicken component, but then you put it in kind of a glaze or a sauce. Can you talk about that?
You were alluded to, what does a Swedish guy doing fried chicken, right? And I'm going to tell you.
Okay, I didn't say exactly that way.
It's all right. It's all good. I'm a big boy. I can handle it. First of all, since I wasn't born here, raised here, I didn't have childhood memories to fried chicken. So I had to learn it here. And going over to see Charles at Charles Pan Fried Chicken was the best for me. Harlem didn't need another fried chicken joint. Sure.
I mean, we could always have another one.
Doesn't hurt.
It's not going to hurt us.
We are not going to ever take out Sylvia's. Their bird is their bird. Charles' bird is Charles' bird. But here you're coming for a different experience. And That's what this chicken represents. So it was really about then, okay, where do we do this switch? And for me, it's really about the glaze and about adding in berbere, my Ethiopian side, into it. Berbere is made all over Ethiopia, but it's sun-dried, right? So dried chilies, dried garlic as a base, and then cumin, garlic, ginger.
My mouth is watering.
We're about to jump in, but I want you to just talk about the sides here too.
It's about having fun. So again, mac and cheese, like iconic side, but we twisted it from the beginning, adding in greens into our mac and cheese, and then lobster. And then with the grits, you know, having something that is just, it's just home. We lean into the bougie. Mark would know about that. I wouldn't know anything about that.
Slightly bougie. Slightly. This guy? Should we give it a shot?
Yeah, please do.
Just gotta make sure Nicole gets some.
Thank you.
It's like eating with your brothers, you know what I mean? Like they're going in.
I grew up with 5 siblings.
Yeah.
I'm very competitive around the dinner table.
Yes, we're going in. Now it's for free for everybody. Get in.
This is called crazy. This is crazy good.
The mac and cheese in particular.
Crazy good.
I agree.
Instead of macaroni noodles, Chef Marcus applies his own twist with pakeri, a large tube pasta with plenty of surface area for cheese to cling to.
The mac and cheese, excellent, creamy. The lobster fits in seamlessly. It definitely feels like it belongs there. They're meant to be together. It's excellent. I love it.
You know what I love about this fried chicken? It has that crunch.
Crunchy on the outside, moist on the inside.
All right, I'm going for it.
Go for it. All right.
Oh, that's good.
It was like one of those like Jermaine Dupri. Damn, that's good. That's the best side.
So juicy on the inside, extremely crunchy on the outside, but what really sets it apart is that berbere seasoning. It feels like American fried chicken, but then I'm getting the flavors that I've had in the past when I was in Ethiopia. And it's kind of just like all your background, all your experience, all your lived history in one food.
But that's also Harlem, right? When you come as an immigrant, you want to figure out in this big city, where do I belong? New York is this inviting place if you respect it. Because you can't come and copy, paste. Harlem would never respect anything or anybody that is just like that.
3 soul food dishes, 3 different price tags, 1 winner. For me, the pricey Red Rooster fried chicken platter delivered the most bang for my buck.
Absolutely delicious. That chicken, tender and juicy on the inside, on the outside, crunchy with a delicious sweet berbere glaze. I liked it.
But what happens when we swap soul food for Puerto Rican cuisine? Next up, we're taking on the most extreme lechon you'll find in New York City.
How different is making lechon in Puerto Rico compared to here in New York City, since you can't cook it outside?
But first, something much more affordable.
This is going to be my first taste of Puerto Rican food ever here in New York City.
Once you have this dish, I bet you're going to come back again one of these days.
Danny runs a Puerto Rican spot in the heart of the Bronx. Just north of Manhattan, the Bronx feels like a second Puerto Rico, with more than 16% of New York City's Puerto Rican population.
We're going to talk more about your food here, but first I want to ask you, what do you think makes good Puerto Rican food?
When you have somebody sitting down in here and start crying and say, oh, you remind me of my grandmother, you remind me of my grandfather, that's when you know you have good Puerto Rican food.
Food that literally makes you cry.
That's what it is.
My mom makes a mean tater tot hot dish. The only way it would ever make me cry is if she put broken glass in it. What is it that you like about this dish? Because liver, for a lot of Americans, it kind of turns them off.
We learned that from the people that came from Europe. There was a waste of food. They say, oh, let's start cooking the organs, the tripe, the liver. They started trying different dishes with different ingredients. And the liver, it was the one that stands up a lot. You get minerals, proteins, and vitamins. Those are the 3 main things that your body needs.
In a pot, heat oil and stir in sugar, chicken flavoring, powdered garlic, cumin, oregano, black pepper, adobo, onion powder, and the beef liver. This recipe came to New York with Danny's family 40 years ago.
To tell you the truth, what brought me over here to New York is the economical position in Puerto Rico. We couldn't find work in Puerto Rico. So I was like, damn, I could make a lot of money in New York. And I was always thinking of coming to New York.
Next, add sofrito, a Puerto Rican cooking base coming originally from Spain. After that, minced garlic.
Can you tell me about what is the concept of this place? Because when you come in here, it's a lot of already made food. You can point to it. You can say, I want some of that. I want some of that.
This is food that reminds you of your parents, of your grandparents in Puerto Rico. I got anything from $5 to $24. Something that everybody could afford. Because remember, I don't think expensive food make a Puerto Rican food.
Next comes cilantro, culantro, onions, bell peppers, potatoes, and carrots. Stir in tomato sauce, a splash of water, and cooking wine. Then let it simmer, low and slow, until the liver turns tender and the vegetables soak up those rich flavors.
A big plate of food, $7.
I think that's cheaper than a ticket for the subway, right?
Super affordable.
Welcome back, my Cuban friend Oro. Back in the day, we toured Cuba together. Then we explored the food scene in Puerto Rico.
Here in Puerto Rico, we love pork.
Puerto Rico. What was your big takeaway about Puerto Rican food after staying there for a whole week, eating everything from the mountains to the ocean?
I think there is a Latin saying that love enters from the kitchen. I really felt that in Puerto Rico. Food is not just food. Food is pride. Food is love. And food also is the way that they connect.
I should be clear. You are not Puerto Rican. You're Cuban.
But I'm a Puerto Rican primo, which means cousin. So I'm close enough to a Puerto Rican to be experiencing the food.
And that's what I said. I said, Oro, come be on this episode. Close enough.
Yes.
So right here we have a chicken gizzard salad.
It's called escabeche. It's kind of like a Puerto Rican version of a ceviche because it's sour and it also has its own adobo.
It does look kind of like a ceviche, although the chicken does look cooked. Thank God.
Man,
that's good.
That's really good.
Sour and oily, but it's really a treasure trove of textures. You got this banana, almost crunchy. Meanwhile, the gizzards are so dense. It's just like a really chewy meat.
This is kind of addictive, bro.
I like it a lot. I wanted to include Puerto Ricans in this series because there's such a prominent Puerto Rican population in this city.
Puerto Rican communities can be found all over the USA, but most are centered in Florida and New York City. In fact, there are about 5.8 million Puerto Ricans living on the mainland, more than the 3.2 million that still live on the island itself.
A lot of the people that left the island, they come here first, which is the Bronx.
This neighborhood is interesting because it's peppered with so many different cultures, but if you keep an eye out, you're always going to find that Puerto Rican flag.
Yes.
And if you follow those symbols, it will lead you to a place like this where you can try our next food right here. It looks like they've really taken some time, some love, and appreciation, and they poured that into the beef liver. But let's find out.
Man.
It's not off-putting, it's not gaming. Of course, it's delivery. I mean, it does taste like liver, but they've dressed it up pretty well. The stew around it, it's savory, it tastes nourishing. There's carrots inside. You can mix that with some rice, mix it with some beans. You like it?
I love it.
Really?
Yeah, man. I don't know about the rest of the food that we're trying, but I would pair more for this liver. This is an elevated liver right there.
Really?
Odd choice for breakfast, though. This is like a packed breakfast.
This is the breakfast of champions right here.
Yeah.
Liver in the morning? Are you kidding?
Never try that.
Later today, I'll be trying a Puerto Rican dish that costs over $100, something that's rare to find in New York City.
How does that work? Is there a conflict in the statement saying Puerto Rican is humble food, but I'm gonna make a $100 plate of Puerto Rican food?
But first, the most iconic Puerto Rican protein, lechon. Only instead of roasting outside over charcoal, somehow one man has found a way to roast up a pig right on the sidewalks of New York City.
I can't help but notice you're holding a giant machete in your hand right now.
Oh yeah, this is my tradition.
For the past 25 years, Piranha has been serving up Puerto Rican lechon from his food truck in the South Bronx.
I cut the pork with this. Now basically I do everything with this.
You ever have to use that for self-defense?
Thank God, no.
Born and raised in Puerto Rico, he moved to the USA as a teenager, and now he's nothing short of a local legend. He's even had his own feature, where he was crowned Lechon King of the South Bronx.
Did they give you that title, or did you already have that title?
No, they gave me that title.
So what'd you think when you saw that? You like that?
Oh yeah.
I mean, who doesn't want to be a king?
That's not bad, yeah, that's not bad.
Especially in Puerto Rico, Lechon is king there.
Uh-huh.
The king of foods, the king of proteins.
Yes.
Lechon isn't just food, it's a celebration, something meant to be shared, the centerpiece of a community feast. If you're on the island, it means roasting up a whole pig. But here, things run a little differently.
Over there, you can do it outside. You can smoke, you can put wood, fire, nobody can say nothing. In New York City, you cannot be smoking, you know. That's why I got my own oven and I slow cook.
And all that goes into an oven?
To the oven, 300 pounds at one time.
Piranha's Lechon is a weekend-only operation, but to have it ready by lunchtime, the work starts the night before.
You see that hole? You rub it with your hands, and then you go inside like that, and then you flip it over, and then you go every hose again. And you gotta love what you're doing, you know what I'm saying?
First, the marinade, starting with vinegar rubbed over the entire pig.
The vinegar is the main thing because they kill all the bacteria and make it tender.
Next, a generous coat of Piranha's secret homemade seasoning blend.
This is authentic old school seasoning. My grandmother let me how to do that.
Making lechon, it's very labor intensive. You're aiming to get this ready for lunchtime.
Yes.
But you started this morning.
3 o'clock in the morning, I start.
That's tough. I mean, do people here realize all the love and time and work that goes into making the lechon?
I love cooking. That's how I grew up. Every weekend, everybody coming from all over the world to see me. That's love and respect. Money cannot buy that. That's my reps. And that made me keep going and cook better.
And cook better.
Every day. That's the leg, and then I put it over here in the tray like this. Put it over here and going in. Now we're gonna do the ribs.
Piranha has been doing this for 25 years.
This is the pork we made yesterday. Now it's not salty like I started yesterday because all the salt come out.
Fixing air conditioning units by day and satisfying his love for Puerto Rico with his weekend lechon offering.
You came here about 40 years ago, you said?
40 years ago.
Why did you move from Puerto Rico to New York in the first place?
To do better and get different life because Puerto Rico back then, not too much money in that time. I said, let me go to New York and do better. And I tried and I like it. I bring my recipes from over there with my mommy and my papa to New York City and we started little by little.
Mr. Piranha, your story is amazing. I can't wait to try your lechon. Let's do this.
Yeah, do it. Yes. Oh, yeah, baby.
Oh, man.
Right?
Mm-hmm. It's 1:12 p.m. People are ready for lunch. They're excited. There are people who are here 2 hours ago, and they're lining up for this moment that I just experienced here. Juicy lechon, crunchy skin. Amazing.
From the La Piraña.
La Piraña.
Yeah.
How long does it take you to sell out? 1 hour?
1 hour.
Oh, man. 9 hours of preparation, 1 hour to sell out. Let's get it.
Lechon goes with just about anything, but here it's plated with rice and pigeon peas, a bright octopus salad, coconut shrimp, and boiled banana. For the final touch, a drizzle of garlic butter and hot sauce for a little fire. If Puerto Rico could be summed up in one dish, this would be it.
Maria?
Hey.
Your shirt says Puerto Rico,
Yes.
but I'm not convinced. Are you really Puerto Rican?
Yes, I am.
Maria runs Mia's Cochina, a Puerto Rican restaurant in New York City's Lower East Side. Everything she knows was passed down from her grandmother, and now it's about to be passed down to me.
This rice is the national dish of Puerto Rico. It's called arroz con gandules, using the lard from the lechon and boiling it with the anato seed to create that beautiful anato oil. That's what was used.
That's nice. Nicely cooked rice. It's very moist.
I also can feel the garlic.
That is delicious. On top of that rice, he was calling it an octopus salad. Do you know what's in the octopus salad?
Octopus.
I think mainly.
Made with red and green bell peppers, onions, boiled octopus, Spanish salad olives, salt, and a drizzle of olive oil. Mix it all together, and you've got the perfect crunchy sidekick to tender lechon.
Amazing, delicious, firm octopus.
I like that it has a lot of pepper also. I think it really complements the texture of the octopus.
On top of everything right here, we have a banana.
You could just eat the banana just like that.
That's nice. It is slightly sweet, super starchy, and then just drenched in that garlic sauce.
It's really good.
At last, we built up to this right here. Folks in Puerto Rico, or as I call it, Puerto Rico, they love pork. Why do people love pork so much in Puerto Rico?
There was no large game on the island of Puerto Rico until the Europeans came over, and then that's when they brought over the pig. The pig was the first animal to acclimate to the island so well. That's why it is the meat of choice for Puerto Ricans.
Oh my Lord.
Oh man.
The seasoning blend he's put on here is delicious. It's salty, it's peppery, you're getting the actual savory seasoning flavors, plus a little bit of sourness too.
I like the balance between the softness of the interior and the crunchiness of the outside.
That was good.
Really good.
It's crunchy. It has that delicious kind of hammy flavor to it.
I feel my cholesterol going up as I bite.
Anything in moderation is okay.
Have you been here before to eat?
I haven't.
So how do you feel when you come to a place like that? You've got this guy from Puerto Rico, repping Puerto Rico, cooking the Puerto Rican food.
It's phenomenal because this is exactly what you would experience if you were on the island of Puerto Rico. If you're driving down a highway, all of a sudden, bam, you'll see a tent just like that, and you'll see a jíbaro just like him standing there with a machete, hitting the lechon and serving up delicious food. And that's what he's providing to everybody here who cannot make it back home.
When did Puerto Rico become part of the USA?
In 1898, I believe, during the Spanish-American War. Once it became part of the U.S., anyone born on the island was a U.S. citizen. There was a great migration between the 40s and the 60s. That's when everybody started to come.
Can you talk a little bit about why so many Puerto Ricans came to New York?
There was just no work. There was nothing out there. So people started to migrate and look for places to go. Exactly what happened in my family. My grandfather came first, then my grandmother. But prior to him, there were aunts and uncles who had come, provided a landing spot for you.
You know, it's interesting. The reason I brought Oro with me today is because we explored and learned about Puerto Rico together. We went all throughout the island and we tried everything. And it makes me reminisce about our time there, but it also feels like something new. And somehow it feels like the best of both worlds between Puerto Rico and America. But Oro, we have one more level of Puerto Rican food.
Let's do it. I'm ready for it.
From sidewalk lechon, we're moving on to our most expensive dish of the day. But there's a problem. Puerto Rican fine dining isn't really a thing in New York City. So instead, we booked a private kitchen and a Puerto Rican chef. And we'll need both to pull off an elevated Puerto Rican plate that costs $100.
Jonah?
Nice to meet you.
Soon, you're going to be telling me how you're going to be preparing perhaps the most expensive Puerto Rican dish New York City has ever seen. But first, I want to learn about you.
Born and raised in Puerto Rico, Jonah has been calling New York home for almost 10 years.
I work in many restaurants in the city. It took me like 6-7 years before I got my first sous chef job. After that, it will keep going and going until I land what I'm right now as a head chef of a Michelin star restaurant.
Today, you're making a very expensive plate of Puerto Rican food. What makes it expensive when it comes to the ingredients?
We're working with a spiny lobster. Grow in the Caribbean. We're using soy urchin. That will be on the broth. We're using breadfruit, and then we serve with modern version of cannellada porchetta.
Today, he's not trying to reinvent a Puerto Rican classic. Instead, he's taking the soul of the island, its ingredients, its cooking techniques, and weaving them into something entirely different. I'm talking about surf and turf.
Today we're going to do our Puerto Rican surf and turf. We're going to start with the longaniza part. Season this ground pork with a little salt. We're going to also do sofrito. This is the key of the Puerto Rican cuisine. So every dish that you cook in Puerto Rico, it got this. Made from the peppers that locally grow over there, our culantro, onions, and garlic. A pinch of cumin, a cup of annatto oil, lobster meat, and we're gonna add our culantro. Traditionally, longaniza is made from pork or chicken, but in this case, we're adding a little lobster just to make it like a little more expensive on the dish. We're gonna take this longaniza and we're gonna flat it out, put a pork loin in the middle, and then we're gonna cover that pork loin with longaniza.
I have to get your point of view as a chef. For you, what makes good Puerto Rican food?
I think good Puerto Rican food, it can be like very humble. We as a Puerto Ricans like sit down on the table and share that. That's what it makes it like very special.
The sausage gets vacuum sealed, cooked sous vide for 2 hours, then seared in a hot pan until the outside develops a beautiful crust.
You're talking about Puerto Rican food, and you keep mentioning it's humble. Meanwhile, today you're making a very expensive plate of Puerto Rican food, a plate that costs over $100.
He brushes the pork with a rum glaze, then rolls it in crispy chicharron.
Is there a conflict in the statement saying Puerto Rican is humble food, but I'm gonna make a $100 plate of Puerto Rican food?
Now that the turf portion of the dish is complete, we're moving on to the surf. First, melt butter in a hot pan, then add Caribbean spiny lobster tails. Hit it with a touch of chili powder, then finish with a squeeze of lemon.
The idea behind the dish is how much it costs you actually, like here in New York. Normal lobster in Puerto Rico probably can be $25, $30 a pound, but over here we're paying $55 a pound.
Ooh.
My mission for this dish, it was basically try to create something that represents us with all the ingredients that grew up in the island, that you can find it locally in New York, and just create something that is not completely traditional, so don't disrespect the humble dishes, but elevating with the technique.
Now comes the build. A medallion of longaniza, a mound of mofongo on the side, topped with a lobster tail. Spoon sea urchin sauce over the lobster. Garnish with cilantro, drizzle some olive oil, and finish with a touch of salt. At $100, it's a beauty. But is it still Puerto Rican?
I don't think expensive food make a Puerto Rican food.
Danny from this morning might say no, But how about these two?
This is a fancy meal. So you brought the wine, and then I brought this. It's a fox.
But it's real.
That's what my grandmother would wear out to like a fancy restaurant back in the day.
Joining the table, Ronnie and Kathleen, the owners of this private kitchen known as Chef's Dinner Table.
Are you from the island of Puerto Rico?
My parents were both born and raised there, although I personally was born in Miami.
Kathleen,
Yes.
you are a writer. You've covered a range of cultural topics, including Puerto Rican cuisine. What is your connection to Puerto Rican cuisine?
I fell in love with Puerto Rican cuisine right around the time that I fell in love with this guy. His whole family are still there. We visit very often, and whenever we visit, I have a rampage of eating.
The reason we're at your private kitchen here is because there are no fine dining Puerto Rican restaurants in New York City.
Correct.
Why do you think that is?
Because Puerto Rican food traditionally been food that comes from the land. In Puerto Rico, if you go and have a very expensive meal, there's likely going to be a lot of imported elements. Pork, on the other hand, is very Puerto Rican. And lobsters, they live in the water just around us. However, here in New York City, to get a Caribbean lobster, it got to be quite expensive. Surf and turf is something that we've known forever and ever, but it's usually beef. Chef Jonah has put in a Puerto Rican twist to it by using pork.
Wow, so lovely.
Oh my God. Ooh, the flavor on the outside really pops. The inside, the tenderloin, it's meaty, it's soft enough, super delicious.
It's interesting because I feel that you go to Puerto Rico and you get the lechon with a piece of chicharron. This is like a reinterpretation where they take all the elements out and they put it back in a different way.
From here, we're building up to the lobster, but it's on a bed of mofongo. Do we eat it together?
He actually literally elevated the lobster.
Yeah.
I see what you did there. The mofongo, which is traditionally a plantain dish, this one is made with breadfruit. One of the interesting elements of Puerto Rican culture is that it combines European, African, and the indigenous people. Those three have melded together to produce a lot of things that are distinctly Puerto Rican.
It's phenomenal.
I love the nuttiness of the mofongo.
Wow, what a great flavor that is. And the lobster is perfectly cooked. It's nice and soft and it pairs perfectly with the mofongo underneath. I mean, how would you describe the flavor of the mofongo?
Mofongo sometimes can be very kind of stiff and super starchy. This is just in between that's like soft and rich.
We all agree this is delicious. It's outstanding.
3 Puerto Rican dishes, 3 very different price tags, 1 winner. For me, Piranha Street Side Lechon gave me the most bang for my buck.
That meat was delicious. It was juicy, and on the outside, the chicharron, very crunchy, very satisfying.
But what happens when you go from sidewalk lechon to a neighborhood where pork doesn't even exist?
Do you adhere to a strict kosher diet yourself?
Is my dad watching? Obviously, yes.
Next up, we're taking on the most expensive Jewish food you'll find in New York City.
Am I gonna have a spiritual experience?
Absolutely.
But first, something much more affordable, coming in at less than $4. However, there's a catch. It's a food often described as bland, gray, and slightly off-putting, even by Jewish people themselves.
My parents tried to get me and my brother to eat it, would call it fishy cake. That worked on my brother, it did not work on me.
Sure, adding the word cake.
Yes.
It's called gefilte fish, and most Jews won't touch it unless it's certified kosher. But what exactly is kosher?
Kosher comes from the Bible, comes from the Torah. For something to be considered kosher, it all has to be done in a very specific way from the beginning till the end. If we would break it down to something very simple, fruits and vegetables are all kosher. With fish, the 2 defining character traits is that it has to have fins and scales. Bugs can't be eaten. Chicken, yes. With meat, it has to be that any of the animals chew their cud and they have split hooves.
What about this?
Not kosher.
This?
Not kosher.
This?
No.
Or this?
They're not kosher.
Do you mind if I ask, do you eat kosher?
Yes, strictly.
That seems difficult.
We're here with Mendy, and Mendy is Jewish.
How many non-Jewish folks do you have coming in here?
He runs Rosenfeld's,
Very few.
the go-to spot for Jewish folks getting fish done the kosher way.
This is a fish market? Seafood market? A small seafood market?
I guess a condensed seafood market.
Places like this are certified kosher, so patrons don't have to stare at a fillet and wonder where it came from.
Everything I know about Jewish food, people, and culture is from Adam Sandler's songs.
Put on your yarmulke, here comes Hanukkah.
That's it. So I have a lot to learn. The first question I have is, what is the difference between Jewish food and kosher food?
They're really synonymous. Nowadays you have a lot of kosher style food, which means they were always traditionally Jewish, but they're not so kosher because it's not certified and not fully kosher.
Today Today we're here for a special food. This is going to be my entry point into Jewish food. So what is gefilte fish?
Gefilte fish is essentially a ground white fish. Put it into a roll.
First up, the fish gets filleted. No shortcuts here.
Strictly kosher fish over here, which means it's only fins and scales.
Eggs are cracked in bulk.
In Judaism, in the Torah, it says that you're not allowed to eat blood. Blood represents life.
So if you crack an egg and detect a tiny blood spot in the yolk, that's not kosher and it needs to be tossed out. Onions are sliced, then head straight to the blender. And once the fillet's ready, it hits the grinder, turning that fresh fish into Pacific puree. Next, the eggs go into the mixer, followed by onions, sugar, white pepper, and then the fish. Mix it up until everything comes together into one smooth, sticky paste. These steps might look simple, but every single one follows strict kosher law. For example, all the tools from the knife to the grinder can only be used for kosher foods. No mixing, no exceptions. And every ingredient has to be kosher certified or naturally kosher. It's that strict. Now for the fun part, shaping our fish glue. Weigh out about 3 pounds of that mix, wrap it tight in parchment paper, and roll it firm. Next, those fish rolls take a dip in a bubbling broth made from carrots, onions, sugar, and fish skin.
There's a lot of traditional foods that it's nostalgic, but they don't necessarily crave for it. So is this a food that's actually delicious?
From my personal point of view, that's my go-to when I'm looking for fish.
I can't wait.
Once it's done, slice it up, serve it cold, and top it with a carrot slice. On the side, a fiery beetroot horseradish paste. Time to give gefilte fish a try. Joining my meal today,
thank you for joining me,
Eitan Bernat.
Good to be with you.
A young Jewish TV personality and online presence, here to share what Jewish culture means today.
When it comes to eating seafood, what is okay, what is not okay?
Yeah, so kosher fish, the fish needs to have fins and scales.
So what is something that has fins but no scales?
Like a shark would be not kosher.
Shark is delightful, but I understand. What else?
No octopus, no shellfish.
No snails?
Definitely no snails.
Really?
Yeah.
And I don't say this to be disrespectful, but perhaps a long time ago, someone ate shellfish and they got vibriosis and passed away, and then someone was like, we shouldn't do that again.
No, so most of the rules of keeping kosher, it is not meant to be based in something that we understand or necessarily even logic. It's just meant to be, passed down from God specifically. So not everything has a rhyme or reason.
Okay. When is the last time you ate this?
It's got to be at least a year or two. It's a classic start on Shabbat.
Shabbat dinner is a traditional Jewish meal observed on Friday night to welcome the Sabbath, a day of rest beginning at sundown Friday and ending Saturday evening.
So you haven't had this for at least 100 Shabbats?
At least. Growing up as a Jewish child, it's a kind of a dreaded part of the meal, and then you eventually come to love it.
Dreaded?
Yes.
So I don't know any of the stereotypes or stigmas associated to it. It looks good. It looks like a fish loaf. We should just taste the naked gefilte fish first.
Do you know what we say when we cheers?
What do you say?
L'chaim?
L'chaim! Cheers.
Those are very good quality.
This is great. You can definitely feel the loafy texture of it, but it's very soft. When you eat it, it has a ton of delicious seasonings. On the back end, there's a little bit of fishiness in a good way, but it's not overwhelmingly fishy. And beyond that, there's an interesting amount of sweetness inside, like a dessert fish.
Yes, we have found today some very good gefilte fish. There's some scary gefilte fish out there. Well, they sell it in a jar, and I would not wish it on my worst enemy.
Okay. This is the horseradish. It's beetroot juice, so it's dyed everything this beautiful kind of dark scarlet. Also, when you go to the bathroom later, you need to remind yourself you don't have colon cancer.
Yes.
You just ate beets, that's all. This is also very sweet. I'm a big beet fan, so it's nice to see it paired with the horseradish. It's got some kick.
Clears the nose a little bit.
Ooh. It's like taking a hit of wasabi. I felt my brain melting a little bit. I've never seen this combination before. It's so good. I love it. Later today, I have a lot more Jewish food I'm going to be trying. And along the way, I want to try to learn more about the Jewish community. And so I have a question that I think a lot of people wonder. What is it that makes somebody to be considered Jewish?
Judaism is an ethno-religion. So it is both a religion and an ethnicity. And there's many kinds of Jews.
The Jewish story stretches back thousands of years to ancient Israel, where Judaism began, one of the world's oldest monotheistic faiths.
Religiously, according to Orthodox Judaism, someone whose mother is Jewish, whether or not you practice the religion.
Oh, wow.
And at the same time, people can convert to Judaism. If someone who's from China who grew up an atheist converts to Judaism, they are just as Jewish as I am.
After centuries of migration, Jewish communities spread across Europe, North Africa, and the Middle East. Today, about 7.5 million Jewish people live in the United States.
The Jewish population in New York, and especially in the tri-state area, is the second largest Jewish population in the world and has absolutely affected New York food and culture.
You can see their heritage everywhere. Schools, markets, bakeries, and countless kosher restaurants keeping centuries of tradition on the plate.
Today, the mission of this video is to see if I spend more money on Jewish food, will that equal better Jewish food? This gefilte fish costs $2.75, but by the end of this video, I'm gonna be eating a steak that costs over $100.
But before we get there, something golden, chewy, and fresh from the oven.
Dan, put her there.
Nice to meet you, man.
I would wager to guess that many Americans don't even know the origin story of the bagel.
Bagels originate in Eastern Europe. It's one of the most popular parts of Jewish cuisine in Krakow and Poland.
Brought over by immigrants and baked into one of the most iconic foods in the USA today. Here at Shelsky's, it's made the old-fashioned way.
So when they came here to North America, the big thing that changed is the bagels have been constantly growing in size for the last 75 years or so.
Just like Americans.
Just like Americans. So we wanted to recreate what bagels were in the past.
First comes the dough, water, then brown sugar, yeast, malt powder, and a whole lot of flour. All mixed together until it turns sticky, smooth, and ready to rise.
What makes bagels unique is that they're firm crust on the outside and they're chewy texture on the inside.
The massive amount of dough is handled with care. Then divided and rolled, each piece shaped by hand, one by one, into perfect little rings. Each ring takes a warm bath before hitting the oven.
I think most people assume that they're just rolled like this and then baked off. But for a bagel, traditionally then boiled first and then baked, which creates that really intense chew and the texture we're looking for and creates this maximum surface area that really gets the bagel to where you want it to be.
Oh, I can already feel it with my fingertips that I'm gonna like this. The outside, it's a little bit more like a bread leather. And then on the inside, very doughy. That's very nice. Obviously, you're holding your bagels here to a very high standard.
Yeah.
I wanna know, are bagels the biggest culinary contribution from the Jewish community here in the United States of America?
Bagels is definitely like up there and probably number one. So when they came here to North America in the late 19th century, early 20th century, they were popular within the Jewish communities. But then after World War II, bagel rolling machines were invented. So to produce more of them and freeze them and send them out to grocery stores nationwide.
The bagel is just a vessel. The soul is what's on the inside. There are plenty of options, but if you're keeping it kosher, a timeless classic is a bagel and lox.
What are lox?
Lox is both a generic term for salmon.
The bagel gets sliced open. A thick smear of cream cheese goes on each half.
Fish and dairy has always been partners in Jewish cuisine for thousands of years. Because of Jewish dietary law, you couldn't consume meat and dairy products together.
Oh.
Then comes the silky lox.
Traditionally, lox would be salmon that is salted and brined. Over time, we still use the word lox to describe all the smoked salmon.
Top it with capers, onions, and a few fresh tomato slices. Cut it, plate it, and it's ready to eat. Joining my meal, Frida Wiesel, born and raised in Brooklyn's Jewish community and a true expert on her culture, language, and food.
This idea that you can't have meat and dairy together, do you have any idea where that comes from?
So in the Bible, it is written that you're not allowed to cook calf in its mother's milk. Then it has been reinterpreted into a bunch of rules in which not only do you not mix milk and meat, but also you don't mix it in your belly, by which I mean if you eat meat, you then have to wait 6 hours for it to digest, and then you can eat dairy again.
Wow. So to be clear, with this rule, somebody eating kosher cannot eat a cheeseburger.
Exactly.
But they can't even have a burger with chocolate milk.
No, exactly.
Perhaps these limitations were kind of a function to help bring to life foods that never would have been. And so maybe what we're looking at right now wouldn't exist without these rules. Should we give it a shot?
Yes, let's do it.
First of all, this is huge. I already tried the plain bagel in the back. Delicious. Here we have a thick layer of cream cheese. We have the lox and capers. Let's give it a shot.
Chaim.
Oh, it's the best bagel I've ever had in my life. That's really good.
I love it.
I feel like you've had more bagels than I have. And most of the bagels I've bought came in a bag from the grocery store.
That's sad for you.
It truly is, because I didn't know something like this existed. And now I need to level up. Now, when I eat it, the only downside to the bagel is you have to sharpen your teeth, because that leathery outside of the bread is tough to perforate at first. And so you could squeeze everything out of the bagel. But once you get through that thicker outer portion of the bagel, then you get that nice, delicious pop of flavor on the inside. Super rich, creamy cream cheese. The salmon is just salty enough. It's smoked, it's flavorful. Plus the onion and tomato add another layer to it.
I love how you describe it. There's something very, very special to a New York bagel. It's supposed to be a fresh bagel. It's supposed to be eaten not toast, and it just has that chewiness.
The not toasted part is interesting, because if you're buying bagels off the shelf like 99% of Americans are, you have to toast it. Or else it's unpalatable. You almost can't eat it. But this is perfect. It's just a completely different product to taste like. I want to talk a little bit more about you and your background. You are a tour guide.
Yes. I give tours of the Hasidic neighborhood, which is this neighborhood where Hasidic Jews live in Williamsburg, Brooklyn.
I think that's really important, because the group you're talking about, it's a very insular community in a city of like 10 million people. So everyone knows they're there, and I'm sure a lot of people have questions. So when you do tours, what is something that surprises people most about the Hasidic Jew community?
Probably the kosher phones. If almost everyone's walking around with like a flip phone that is kosher.
Kosher phones?
Yes.
When it comes to the Jewish community, not everyone practices Judaism the same way. On one end of the spectrum, you've got the Hasidic Jews, an ultra-Orthodox group known for their deep devotion, strict traditions, and tight-knit way of life.
So I grew up Hasidic. One of the things that is like a main feature in that community is large families. My mother had 15 children.
Okay, my mom had 6 kids.
Wow.
When I was born, I was like, hey, take it easy. And then she had 2 more. I could talk at an early age.
Their rules shape everything from what they eat to how they dress.
If you walk around, you're going to see people with long coats, and the women wear wigs and the beards and the side curls.
And even how marriages are arranged.
When I was 18, my parents set me up with the first boy I met in my life. That's because there are laws around keeping the sexes separate, like a man and a woman are not allowed to be alone in a closed room. You're not allowed to have physical contact. Sometimes couples will date but will not touch at all until they're married.
Interesting. I did the opposite. Once I got married, we stopped touching each other.
I see.
I think that's...
But Judaism isn't one size fits all.
Here's a list of people who are Jewish.
You got to walk the walk, you gotta talk.
Over time, other branches have formed, each reflecting a different level of commitment to religious law and tradition.
My mother was born a Jew, which makes me full Jew.
There are stark contrasts, like the two men we're about to meet. One holds every ancient rule. The other blends faith with modern life and has become a well-known name. But first, the most expensive kosher meal you'll find in New York City, and it comes from Japan.
I've had the best of the best when it comes to Wagyu beef in Japan. I've gone to Kobe, I've gone to the slaughterhouses, I've had teppanyaki cooked right in front of me. What? It seemed like as good as beef can get until now.
Welcome to Meat, a restaurant in the heart of New York's Jewish community. Here at Meat, they're rewriting what kosher food can be.
Daniel, put her there.
Hey.
Meet Danny Branover, the owner, and the man behind this bold idea.
Today I'm going to be trying one of your most expensive steaks. What is a Lubavitch Wagyu steak?
The idea is to combine a very materialistic aspect of eating a cow with a set of very spiritual aspect of kosher. And the combination has to be, at high level, both the beef and the adherence to the philosophy. Lubavitch is just one other level where we want to make sure that the person slaughtering it has to believe in it and understands the next level, not just the mechanics of it, but really why do you want to do it? Why is it so important? And that gives it a whole new level of kosher.
This isn't just kosher, this is like kosher plus.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Lubavitch is a Hasidic Jewish group known for their deep devotion and commitment to keeping tradition alive. The slaughtering process should be fast, humane, and sacred. The blood is completely drained. Then the meat gets salted and washed carefully to remove any remaining blood traces.
Part of being a kosher restaurant means that you have an in-house rabbi. The meat that arrives here should already be kosher and maybe have a certification on it. So what is the rabbi doing?
The word rabbi literally means my teacher. Think of him as spiritual quality control.
The rabbi does very simple, make sure that something is kosher, because many of the chefs are not adhering to kosher themselves.
Hi, my name is Chef Roger. I'm the executive chef at Meat Restaurant. We're going to talk today about some Wagyu Lubavitch steak.
First up, the marination.
The way we're going to cook these steaks, we're going to put some herb-infused olive oil on them. This Wagyu steak, it is aged in our house aging room for 45 days. It's all about putting in the extra effort and really getting our products to stand out from a flavor perspective. And then we're going to put our porcini rub on it to get a little bit more flavor from the porcini mushrooms and a little bit more color from the salt and sugar inside of the rub.
Next, the cooking.
We're going to cook them in our imported Jasper oven. Super important to get the coal super hot. As you can see here, the smoke coming off of it to get a beautiful sear. It'll be in this oven for about 15 to 20 minutes to get the best flavor out of our Wagyu ribeye. Being not Jewish myself, some of the differences between a regular New York City steakhouse and like a real high-end kosher steakhouse, the kosher meats, you can't use anything behind the 13th rib on the cow, so the back half of the cow can't really be used for us here in the restaurant. That means that they can't have New York strip, they can't have porterhouse, they can't have filet mignon, nothing with the top round or the rear shank. All right, guys, you guys want to give them a flip?
Eating kosher food anywhere, you could elevate your spiritual level, but here you're eating very high quality kosher food. In order for you to feel it, you have to believe in it. Sometimes your perception creates the reality.
I didn't realize before coming here, but this isn't just a steak dinner. This could be a transcending experience.
Absolutely.
All right, guys, we're done here.
After the meats had a good rest, slice it up into those juicy bite-sized pieces. First, make a smooth swipe of Italian gravy made from the drippings of roasted meat, wine, broth, garlic, and herbs. Then lay the steak on top, sprinkle with rosemary, drizzle a touch of olive oil, and finish with a crown of crispy fried onions for that final crunch.
I didn't know whether or not Jewish people could drink. Rabbi, yes or no?
We definitely can drink.
To that I say,
L'chaim.
L'chaim.
Before we drink, we make a little blessing.
Please.
Joining me for this meal, Rabbi Meir Friedman, a 26-year-old Lubavitcher whose mission is to introduce the Jewish community to curious outsiders. Sitting next to him, Eitan Levine, a Jewish comedian based right here in New York.
Today, I have an exciting mission, which is to see if spending more money on Jewish food equals better Jewish food. It was my first time eating gefilte fish. Well, I've had bagels before, but these bagels were really good bagels. And then now we have this right here. We're gonna get to this in a moment. This is a steak, but it's not just a steak.
Is this a child? What is that? I'm gonna be eating it, you're like, actually.
Part of the fun today has been learning about the rules of kosher, and there are a lot of rules. The first thing I wanted to ask about now is beef consumption. I'm told that you cannot eat anything behind the 13th rib of the cow. There's a whole big section of the animal that you can't consume. So I thought perhaps they didn't use the back part because that's where the peeing and pooping happens. It has nothing to do with that.
Sorry, buddy.
Okay.
Have you heard of Jacob from the Torah, from the Bible?
Yeah.
I knew this, by the way. Jewish day at school, I knew this, okay?
Right on. He got into a fight with an angel, and the angel injured him on his back leg, on his thigh, and God told the Jewish people not to eat that part of the animal.
That part of the animal is called the Gid Hanashe. Did I get it right? Boom!
So with these rules, a couple hundred years ago, are people really throwing away hundreds of pounds of beef?
100%.
Do you personally find that to be wasteful?
I mean, that's not the standard. It wasn't that you throw it out. You sell it to somebody else that doesn't need it. But my point is that even if not,
sure,
just because it's wasteful doesn't make us stop following the commandments.
Wow. This comes before the 13th rib. It's not just Wagyu, it's Lubavitch Wagyu. I was just talking to the owner of this restaurant. He said it's like the ultimate in kosher. Would you agree with that?
It's the highest standard.
Have you eaten Lubavitch beef before?
I have.
Did you find it to be more spiritual than other beef?
All food could be more spiritual.
Oh, I like that. I talked to Daniel earlier and he said you have to
believe in it.
I'm not even sure what I'm supposed to believe.
You're gonna leave this video being a Hasidic Jewish man. You're gonna be a whole other spiritual plane. You're gonna move to Williamsburg. You're gonna have 15 kids.
Rabbi, do you think that's likely?
No.
I love this contrast. So right here, he's put a delicious sauce on our stone plate. He's cooked it, well, it depends on the steak, but they've cooked it roughly medium. He seared it in something called a jasper. They've sliced it, and then this is the perfect outcome right here. Gentlemen, it's time to believe.
I ate too quickly.
Let's go for it. That's nice.
This steak is so good.
It's delicious. But so far, I'm just experiencing physical pleasure.
The rabbi can't stop laughing now.
I feel like you're transcending us right now. You're laughing, you're feeling joy.
I gotta make a blessing before I eat this.
If I'm not mistaken, it means blessed is the God who created hedge fund management. Is that not what it means? Blessed is Goldman Sachs. It's a pretty funny joke.
The more you laugh, the more he's gonna keep going.
Once you get into the spirit, you can't drop it, you know?
Yeah.
If I may actually address your point of having just a physical experience versus spiritual experience.
Yeah.
Making a blessing before you eat a piece of meat, thanking God for creating this piece of meat, bringing that into the meal, that stops becoming just a physical meal.
I totally agree. I don't pray, but when I eat with friends who pray, it always makes me stop and think about what I'm grateful for. And I end up enjoying my friends or my company and the food so much more. The meat itself, what do you think?
Delicious.
Incredible.
It has a perfect sear on the outside, then the inside is temped perfectly. It's just a little bit pink, kind of medium. It's got the sauce base on the bottom. It doesn't need a ton of flavor, but this is truly delicious. So, do you adhere to a strict kosher diet yourself?
Is my dad watching? Obviously, yes.
What percentage of Jewish folks do you think are actually eating kosher?
Less than half, way less.
Among practicing Jews, is the number much higher?
100%. I would say that's one of the baseline definitions of being a practicing Jew, is keeping kosher.
I'd say like 70-80% is where I would put it at. When I stopped like keeping kosher, I still was identifying as like modern Orthodox. My personal journey with this is that, born and raised modern Orthodox, kept very, very kosher. Over time, the things that will make someone slip, I think, is less of like, I don't believe in God, so I'm gonna go eat this. And it's more just like a situationally, contextually. I remember the first time I turned a light bulb on the Sabbath, or the first time that I had like a non-kosher something. I remember like looking around like, oh, like is the lightning gonna strike me or anything? And then it doesn't, and then you kind of like move on. And to be honest, I go in waves where I'll keep incredibly kosher, or and sometimes I just don't. But once again, never had shellfish. There it is.
One thing I've noticed in particular is that among the Jewish community, I can't believe the kind of wide range of culture and personality that exists. So on one end, you have very conservative, traditional, Orthodox Jews who don't want to appear on camera, and they think that just being on social media, period, could just lead to bad things, and they want to stay away from it. Okay, then we have the other side of the spectrum. Someone like you, who's a comedian, who's on stage, who wants that attention. How do you explain this insane range within the same community of people?
Because again, being Jewish is not what you do, it's who you are. You're born with it. You want to follow the laws, you want to follow some of them, you don't want to follow all of them. That doesn't make you less Jewish. That identity goes with you, you can't shake it.
I had an interesting experience a couple of years ago. I went to Birmingham, Alabama to help with some like tornado disaster relief cleanup. First time I'd ever realized that in a place like Birmingham, there's just not that many Jews out there. And Jews believe that we have to have 10 people there in order to pray. So the Chabad rabbi and the modern Orthodox rabbi and the conservative rabbi, no matter what specific minutia they believe in the religion, all have to daven together. They all have to pray together. So when your question of there's such a range, by the end of the day, there is a commonality here that we can all go back to. And there's a roots that we can all kind of address, and it helps the community.
It's a time when you, as a Jewish people, to figure out what that means to be Jewish. What is our responsibility as Jewish people? And in the face of some crazy bad stuff that are going on, our response to that has to be crazy good. To take our Judaism to the next level.
Today I ate Jewish food at 3 different levels. Very affordable, very mid-priced, and very expensive. But I can only choose one that gave me the most bang for my buck. That steak, although delicious, it didn't give me the spiritual experience I was hoping for, even though I tried my best to believe. That said, if I had to choose one, it would be location 2. The bagel and lox. Even though I enjoyed all the food today, even the gefilte fish, you just can't go wrong with a classic bagel. Also, this is my first time having a bagel the way it's meant to be made and the way it's meant to be eaten. But that's just my opinion. Guys, let me know downstairs in the comments down below which of these foods from today you wish you could try. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Peace.